So,
All right, everyone, thank you so much for your patience. It is 5:10 on June 27th, 2022. If we could do a roll call, please. Trustee Ramos,
Present.
Dr. Little, Trustee Dopplemore, present. Trustee Calhoun,
present.
President Lopez, present. Dr. Curry,
Present, and Dr. Little she just joined us.
okay. I will move on to item number 2 for approval of closed session agenda. 2.01, approval of closed session agenda. Board members, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by Trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos,
No.
Dr. Little,
No.
Trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No,
All right, seeing no discussion, if you could do the roll call, please. Dr. Little, and seconded by Trustee Ramos. Will it pop up automatically? It should pop up automatically.
I just heard something.
Yeah, it popped up for me, the box.
You should be on your board docs.
okay, how do you vote?
There should be a pop-up screen when you're on your board docs requesting your vote. It is on board docs.
Oh my God. So I gotta go back to board docs?
Please, sorry.
So I have to go back to board docs?
You should be logged into board docs and then it would come up.
I am logged into, Dr. Little, please hold on. I logged into board docs first. And then you told me to go to Zoom and I did it. Now, what I see is approval of closed session agenda. It was motioned by Dr. Little and second by Andreas Ramos. I don't see the button. I don't see the button that I vote. Where would it be at?
Because you have to be logged into board docs. So you have to be logged into board docs and Zoom at the same time.
I just told you, I logged into, never mind. Number one, I think that we should have had training on this before we first did it. Everybody thinks that everything is simple and we all get our lessons and our knowledge in a different way. We should have had training prior to this day.
So Trustee Calhoun and Dr. Little, we're only waiting for your vote, but we could take
You
it.
can't,
verbally.
you
Just
can't
give me
get
one
my vote.
I'm logging in. One second, please. I'm just trying to make sure that my password works. Dr. Curry,
Yes.
do you remember the date that they resent it?
I resent you your password. I can forward to you again.
Please, because it's not working. I just want to make sure I'm putting in the right one.
I think in the essence of time, Dr. Little, if you want, we do have, unless you need a couple more seconds, the majority of the board members have voted. We can continue.
I'll just need just 1 second more. It's going now. Oh, she said she's on hold. She told us to hold on a second, right? Yeah. President, you can go ahead because for some reason it's still, I'm trying the different caps and everything. It's fine if we have sufficient vote.
For the time being, we could do your vote verbal.
Aye. Could you hear me?
Yes, it's being recorded.
I'm sorry. Just want to make sure so we're not holding it up.
The vote was a unanimous yes for the approval of the closed session agenda.
All right, do we have any requests to address the Board of Trustees on closed session agenda matters? Members from the audience, if you would like to place a comment, please do so in the chat. If you are on a call, we ask you to dial #9. Seeing none, moving on to item 3.02, Compton Community College District Board of Trustees Future Agenda Items Request. Board members, do we have any items? Trustee Ramos,
No items, thank you.
Dr. Little? Trustee Dopplemore?
No items, thank you.
Yes, trustee Dopplemore. Future agenda items is to have a review of the existing programs that are currently offered at Compton College and to discuss additional new pathways and programs to be offered.
Trustee Calhoun?
No.
All right, seeing none, we are moving on. It is 5:19 and we will move on to closed session.
It will be in Y99 for individuals who are on campus, and everyone else who's on Zoom will remain on Zoom.
All right, it is 6:21 and we are reconvening to open session. If we could do a roll call, please. Trustee Ramos,
Present?
Dr. Little,
Present.
trustee Dopplemore, trustee Calhoun,
Present.
President Lopez.
present. If we can all stand or have us lead with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll ask Trustee Ramos to lead us, please.
Please stand, put your right hand over your heart, ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item number 6, report of actions taken in closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54857.1. There is nothing to report. Moving on to item number 7, Compton Community College District Resolution 0627-2022A, continuing Board of Trustees authority to hold virtual meetings pursuant to AB 361, open meeting, state and local agencies teleconferences. Board members, is there a motion?
So move.
Second,
It's been moved by Trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Dr. Little,
no discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore,
Yes, this is just to end the meeting in virtual, no?
to extend it another 30 days. So
To
we,
extend it, yes. No discussion, no further discussion, thank you.
Trustee Calhoun,
I'm sorry, which one is this?
we are on 7.01. This is to extend 30 days of holding virtual meetings per AB 361.
Okay, I think this is under 1501 for me. So, I don't think I need to say it here, I don't think. But I will say yes. I mean, no. No discussion.
All right, see no further discussion. Sylvia, if you could do the roll call, please. Board members, as a reminder, you will be voting online.
President Lopez, may I ask a question?
Yes,
So the yay is considered aye, right?
correct.
Just to confirm.
Trustee Calhoun?
I'm trying to vote and I did something wrong, so,
We could do your verbal vote if you'd like.
oh, okay, yes, but I need to figure this out.
So we will get on the next vote. If you record it now to Sylvia, we can record it for you. And then we go to the next one and pop up again for the next vote.
Okay, but it doesn't pop up, so I'm doing something wrong. That's what I'm saying. I'm doing something wrong, not y'all. It's me.
So for this purpose, if you want, we can take your vote and then so we can record it.
Okay,
Your
yes,
verbal vote.
yes,
And to confirm, your verbal vote is yes?
yes, we're,
Okay.
yeah.
There's a unanimous vote of yes.
Is that the computer program that had that response, Dr. Curry?
Yes. That was Sylvia. Sorry.
All right,
Okay.
moving to Item number 8 for approval of open session agenda. Board members, do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Little, Dr. Little, and seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No further discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
All right, seeing no discussion, board members, you will be voting online.
Do you see it, trustee Calhoun?
No, I have to go back out. I know it's at the bottom of my screen and I'm trying to pull it up, so.
If you'd like, we could give you a verbal vote until it gets situated.
Okay, yes, I just have to figure out where I put my other screen at in order to vote like I did last time. Remember, I did it last time. I don't know what I did with my other screen. That's my issue. I don't know what to click on. I'm going at the bottom. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But right now, verbal vote.
And to confirm your verbal vote is yes?
Yes, my verbal vote is yes. Hey, Dr. Curry, is David there?
That's a unanimous vote of yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 9, recognition, 9.01, recognition of service to Compton Community College District Board of Trustees, Paul Medina, student trustee. Dr. Curry?
Yeah, it is with great honor that I have the opportunity to recognize for the Board of Trustees, the student trustee, Paul Medina. And I would like to call the board members who are here to come up to the front. Paul, come. Yeah, you know. So, even though it's only 2 months, we want to make sure that we recognize you for your service. And we know that you're going to be the next associated with the government person. But we want to recognize you on behalf of Compton Community College District Board of Trustees for serving as a student trustee from April to June of 2020. Thank you. Okay, we'll work. If any board member like to say any words, and also Paul, don't want to say words too.
Okay. Definitely. Want me to say them on my thing?
Yeah, well, we'll start with the board, and then we'll go with that. Board President Logan?
It was a short turnaround, but we appreciate your assistance and stepping up. And hopefully you could advocate as now ASG president to most definitely continue and advocacy on behalf of the students.
Thank you. I have to hold it. Again, short term, thank you so very much for having the courage to step up and be and serve in that position on the Board of Trustees. So just wish you the best of luck on your continued civil service and your support and your being and your voice and being an advocate for yourself and also for the fellow students. So thank you again and congratulations.
And trustee Calhoun?
Oh, yes, Mr. Paul Medina, it was a short time, but from the time that I met you, we have had one great conversation. But look at you now. And I don't know if everybody up there knows it. Mr. Paul Medina was in the LA Times on Monday, June the 13th of 2022. And the title of the newspaper was "Colleges Still Battle Over Remedial Classes. Despite a 2017 law to eliminate lower level courses, community schools are resisting the change." And his caption was, "Paul Medina was frustrated by his inability to get into a college level math class until a 2017 state law to reduce dead-end remedial classes enabled him to take a higher level course with intense tutoring. He passed. Congratulations to you, Mr. Paul Medina. And I still have this article. If you want it, I'll give it to you. But this is something that you could use for the rest of the students if you don't have a copy of this. I'll bring it to the college and have them mail it to your house so that you can have this and you can show them how you succeeded. Congratulations on your new position. I'm still looking forward to that, but great job with this newspaper article. Great job.
Trustee Ramos?
I just wanted to say congratulations on even though it was a short term, and thank you for your service and student activism, even though it was a short time. Like you still played a role in giving the students a voice on campus. So thank you again.
Dr. Little?
I too just want to thank you so much for your service and for being a trustee and for adding valuable insight from a student perspective and an overall perspective to this work. And we look forward to seeing your next journey. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the audience members, Board of Trustees, administration, guests. I'm actually going to share a personal story if it's okay with you. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm very cognizant about time. As I was driving down here today, suddenly I had this memory. So going back to 2004, I graduated from high school back in spring of 2004. And I remember being with my cousin soon after in Hudson Park. And he asked me, so what are your plans? Where do you want to go to school after this? Before I said a word, I'll never forget his words. He said, whatever you do, don't attend Compton College. And I was shocked when he said that. I'm like, why? And he's like, just watch the news and you'll find out why. I did watch the news. And that was 2004. But if you fast forward 18 years later, little did I know that would be here today. So proud to call myself a student at Compton College and a board member on the Compton Community College Board of Trustees. I mean, a big 180 degree after, and here we are among some of the finest educational leaders in the whole state, not the whole country. Special thank you to you, President Lopez, for all the hard work you do, not only here at the board, but in your constituency. You know, I was representing the people that you do. Trustee Dopelmore, Little, Calhoun, Ramos, and a big special thank you to this gentleman over there, Dr. Curry. There are 116 college presidents in the California Community College system. I'm glad that Compton has the finest one of them all. And to Special Trustee Farrell, I don't know if you're in this meeting, but rest assured, go back to BOG President Haynes, go to Chancellor Oakley and tell him that this college is #1 student center. #2, the leaders here, the professors, the faculty, their heart is in the right place. And most importantly, they do the right thing when no one is looking, making sure that students always come first. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 10.01, request to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda matters. To the public in the audience, please move forward and is it on that side?
We have one request. It was
I just want to make sure where's the microphone that I'm directing them to? Oh, God, I apologize. If you could go to your, is it right or left? To the podium to say your public comment. For those on the phone, we do ask you to dial *9 and we can your comment. And for anyone in the Zoom, please type in chat and we will make sure to give you a call. So we will start for those in the audience first. Sylvia, if you can call them by name, please.
Mika Black.
I think he's gonna turn it up. He should. He's probably bringing another microphone. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Good evening, trustee board, staffs, students, and Compton Community College District. Firstly, a moment of gratitude. Congratulations to the class of 2022, and congratulations to those who will continue to the fall semester. Please know that as college graduates, you are leaders in your households, in your communities, and you should never stop striving for your dream. My name is Mika Black, granddaughter of Emily B. Hart Holyfield. An update on our continued campaign for the restoration of the Emily B. Hart Holyfield Library. We remain in contact with Dr. Curry, and we thank Compton College for the resolution and acknowledgement of Mrs. Holyfield's achievements presented during her community memorial service on May 28, 2022. Mrs. Holyfield stood for opportunity, equal opportunity for all persons from all walks of life. This college during her tenure served as a safe haven for anyone in pursuit of education and development. She grew up working from the cotton fields, and from that experience, I myself, a product of Compton, a proud product of Compton, took that work initiative, and I work now today to copy many of her achievements. I want to say that in these changing times in our country, never stop striving to be the best person that you can be. That's the best way to continue the legacy that my grandmother started. Thank you very much.
That's the last of the speakers.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to item 10.02, Compton Community College District Board of Trustees, future agenda items request. Trustee Ramos.
No request, thank you.
Dr. Little.
No
Trustee
request, thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore,
Should I repeat the one just like the first one?
if you'd like, you can.
Yes, a request for future agenda items. I believe that we have an update, a pending update from staff regarding an assessment of the current programs that are offered at Compton Community College. But I would like to see that as a future agenda item if it's not already scheduled to be provided to us. And also to do a review or to consider new programs to be offered at Compton College. So an updated assessment on the current programs that are offered and consideration of new programs to be offered. And I can give a few examples of those for the record. An agricultural program. This would go in line and be supported with the new housing potential coming to campus, offering CDL pursuant, CDL license and certification, and possibly a report around the new cannabis industry. And I think that's all I have at this time.
Trustee Calhoun,
Future agenda, the minutes. And changing the board meetings from a Monday to another day.
all right.
Ms. Lopez, I'm
Yeah.
going to log off and log back on and see if I could get it where I'm able to vote. So do I do Zoom first and then board docs, or board docs first and then Zoom?
They're completely separate, so you would just need to restart your board docs. Do not exit out of Zoom.
Do not exit out of Zoom. Okay.
Moving on to item number 11, Board of Trustees meeting minutes. For 11.01, minutes of the May 16, 2022 Board of Trustee meeting. Do I have a motion, board members?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by Trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Dr. Little,
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
All right, seeing no discussion, board members, can you do the roll call? I mean, can you please vote online? And until we have yours working, Trustee Calhoun, I could take yours verbally. Would you like to cast your vote verbally? If you're speaking, you're muted.
Did you get my vote this time?
No, we did not, Trustee Calhoun.
Am I still muted?
I hear you.
Okay,
Your vote has been received, Trustee Calhoun.
okay, I'm gonna keep working on this all night long.
That's a unanimous yes on the minutes.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, reports for representative and employee organizations. We begin with 12.01, Associated Student Government Report. I believe it has an inaccurate name. Or is it still Stephanie? All right, is Stephanie Lenore just said available? All right, moving on to 12.02, Academic Senate Report. Dr. Mendodora.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, Dr. Curry, and fellow attendees. I am reporting on the last two Senate meetings that Compton College had before the semester ended. Just recently, actually, right at the end of the semester, from June 15th through the 18th, I attended the Faculty Leadership Institute, which is sponsored by the ASCCC. Similar to the fall and the spring plenaries, lots of workshops that took place over a 3-day period. Some of the items that we approved during the last couple of Senate meetings were one, the Honor Scholars Program 5-year plan, which included their mission, their vision, their goals, and changes that they would like to implement compared to how it was established before, to make us stand apart from some of our competition programs at some of the neighboring community colleges. We also provided the district with some recommendations for the dual enrollment program based on some faculty experiences with dual enrollment students, actions that we feel would help students perform better in their college courses to ensure their success. One of our small task forces also designed a universal statement for diversity, equity, and inclusion graduation requirement courses a statement that faculty can include in their syllabi. We're hoping that it would also be potentially negotiated between our union and the district so that it could become one of those mandatory statements on some of the courses that we offer. We also recommended a hiring freeze for full-time faculty for the upcoming academic year, and one that would be revisited during the next academic year, based on our student enrollment. We might recommend in the future to extend it, or hopefully if enrollment goes up, that would no longer be necessary. Also, our Open Educational Resources Committee brought forward their proposal, somewhat of their constitution and bylaws, again, including their mission and vision and goals in helping the college achieve its general goal of achieving 85 to 100% reliance in the future by the year 2035 on open educational resources and zero cost textbooks. The Academic Senate also took on the task this past semester of researching what would be some potential strategic new programs to be added to Compton College. And we brought forward 5 recommendations. One of them was software and application design. One was game design / machine learning / artificial intelligence. One was special education. One was addiction studies, and one was radiology technician. We are also aware of, for example, for the radiology technician, we know, for example, all of the necessary technology to implement it would be very costly. So that's something that we're very aware of, and we understand if the district chooses one of the other options. I was asked, however, so the way we went about it is senators volunteered for which programs to research. Given that we had a much larger pool that we started with, we narrowed it down to just a few, and then senators signed up for which one to research. We had quite a bit of data that was provided by the district in terms of numbers for what's the need in the industry currently and projections for the next 5 years. I also asked our senators to look at which of the neighboring community colleges offer such a program, right? What was our competition? And then the senators came back and provided a summary of whether they believed that particular program that they had researched should be pursued or not. So that's how we ended up with the 5. Later on, however, the district did ask for the actual data that was considered by each one of the senators. And some of the senators did consider the available data and some did not. So I am now kind of going back and trying to find what is the data that should have been considered for some of these programs, so that we compare apples to apples when we look at which programs should be considered. And that concludes the Senate report. Thank you very much for your time.
Moving on to item 12.03, CCCFE Certified Employees Report is Holly Schumacher. I can't tell. I don't see her online. Moving on to 12.04, CCCFE Classified Employees Report for Aminkwa McKenzie. And I do not see him online either. All right, moving on to number 13, presentations, Dr. Curry.
Yeah, so tonight we have a couple presentations. Each year we have a conversation in regards to Assembly Bill 705. I was just thinking about student trustee Medina when we talk about AB 705. And so we have Dr. Abinana Sanapeju and also Dr. Rebecca Blanchine who will be providing a presentation tonight in regards to AB 705. Dr. Peju. And also Laura Siseko, sorry about that.
Good evening, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Curry, and members of the Cabinet. Abiodun Osanpeju is my name. I'm presenting to you tonight with my colleagues, Dr. Lawrence Usenko and also Dr. Rebecca Blanchard. She's remote. Tonight, we want to give you a recap of what has been happening or what we have done through the 2021-2022 academic year. We'll be touching on some data regarding math completion and English completion, and also talk about the throughput rates that we have from our math students. English will be providing some additional updates, and then we will share some success and retention data, and then let you know about some of the student support activities that we have, and also our plan for the 2022-23 academic year. Dr. Blanchard.
For our 2021-22 AB 705 activities, we had Summer Bridge, which was English and math preparation for our College Promise students. We had new placement practices. So students were informed of their right to enroll in transfer level English and math, and the default placement model would place all students into transfer level English and math. Faculty are able to utilize the CRM Advise, which is an intervention and support tool for student success. There was English team teaching sections where 2 full-time professors were equally responsible for creating, teaching, and assessing the class. Community of practice took place with our English faculty to standardize syllabi and ensure student-centered and equity-minded design. Our Math 150 and English 101 refresher program took place during winter and summer and was led by our SSC faculty instructional specialists. And then lastly, our just-in-time workshops for math continued.
Sorry about that, Dr. Blanchard. I'm gonna walk everyone through a couple of the data points related to AB 705 implementation. The first data point that we're gonna look at, the metric, is how many students complete transfer level English and math in their first year. This is an So what we see when we look at this metric is we have seen some increase over the last several years. This graph shows 2014-15 through 2021. You do see a little bit of an uptick, but we are looking at very small percentages. So in the earlier years, the dark blue line is showing 1% to 3% of students meeting this milestone. In 1920, that uptick to 6%, and then in 2021, it did increase again to 9%. So we have seen an increase with our implementation of AB 705, yet it is still very low. And so there's still a lot of room and work to grow, to improve on this metric. When we unpack it a little bit, when we look at math completion versus English completion, we do see that this metric, and we Thank you, David. When we break out the number and percentage of students who complete math and English in their first year by race and ethnicity, we do see differences between and among the ethnicity and race groups. When we're looking at those who completed both, we see Latinx, which is our largest student population, is at 9%, which is the average. And then there are other groups which are at 3%. If the Black and African American group was so small that it was not presented in the data that's available publicly through CalPAS. Again, when we look at just math and English, Latinx students are completing math, a transfer level math, 15%, and then our Black and African American student group is at 9%. And then English, our Latinx, 23% of our Latinx students are completing English in their first year, while 17% of our Black or African-American students are doing so. And then other categories that are collapsed are at 8%. So we are seeing differences, but in completing transfer level math and English among our racial ethnic groups, among our students. These data are available from CalPass Plus and the Student Success Metrics dashboard. The last data point that I'm going to present tonight has to do with throughput rates. So again, this is this idea that a student is coming in and whether they are starting below transfer or at transfer level, whether they are ultimately completing that transfer level course. The California Community College Chancellor's Office required us to do this analysis this year to be in compliance with the AB 705 law. For any discipline that we were going to offer those below transfer level courses. Our English faculty decided not to continue to offer the below transfer level, so we didn't have to do it for that discipline. But we did do it for math. And what we did was we looked at different student groups, so whether they were transfer or undecided, or degree and certificate seeking students, and whether they were taking math that was designed for social sciences, or whether they were taking math that was designed for STEM. So we took all these different iterations of groups of students, and we looked at the students who started in pre-transfer level, and what was the percentage of students who ultimately completed transfer level, and compared that to the number of students who started in transfer level, and how many of those students completed that transfer level coursework. And they compared those percentages. And ultimately, our report showed that the throughput rates were different. We were not maximizing throughput for the pre-transfer level students. And so it required a implementation plan on what we were going to do to address this difference. And that what is some of the activities that are going to be talked about next. Thank you.
Okay, for our English AB 705 updates, again, we've removed all below transfer level English sections. We offered team teaching and low capped classes. So we had 3 sections of English 101 in both fall and spring, and then 4 sections of English 101 with a reduced class size in the fall of 21. We revamped the English 101 support course curriculum and offered sections as late start 12-week. The data to date has not shown team teaching to increase success, but there was a slight gain in student success from low capped classes. Next slide, please.
So some equity data from our activities recently, we found that African American and Latinx students still need some additional support. African American and Latinx students had increased success and retention rates when they took the low-capped English classes. English teaching classes, team teaching classes also had African American students with success rate that is comparable to overall English classes, but it was a little bit lower for the Latinx students. We also found that students that participated in the just-in-time math workshops kind of provided high success rates in their math 150 classes. So our summation is that the interventions that we have been providing are either not reaching all the students, or they are not taking advantage of those interventions, or that we are not yet seeing the impact that we are expecting to see from our student population.
Okay, in terms of our student support that we're providing in regards to AB 705, the Student Success Center is providing drop-in tutoring services for both English and math virtually and in person. We have an embedded coach program. The coaches are strategically placed in courses and serve as a peer tutor within the classroom. We have Net Tutor, which is free online tutoring, and that's live tutoring 24/7 year round, and students can go in there for drop-in questions and writing feedback. The Math Just in Time workshops is a series of 1-hour workshops that cover various topics for the different math courses. We have reading and writing workshops, research paper boot camp, and also common writing assignments for faculty to use within Canvas. And then lastly, our Ed Ready software helps students to improve in their math and English skills and help to prepare them for their college level courses.
And we would like to finish up this presentation by giving you an idea of our plans for the 2022-2023 year. Recently, our English faculty submitted some proposal which have been graciously approved by Dr. Cody and the cabinet. The proposal include to offer just-in-time workshops for English students, to continue team teaching the English 101 classes. We plan on having 4 of those in fall and spring, and we will continue with the embedded tutors in English 101 classes, starting in fall of 2022. We will continue to offer the support classes, the 101S, and also the 15C, the core requisite for Math 150. Our math faculty will also continue the just-in-time workshop, and then we'll continue the support for our math students, and also continue to offer by reducing gradually all our below transfer classes, so that by fall 2025, we will have less than 10% of those pre-transfer classes on our schedule. We made some standardized Canvas shells for Math 65 and 150. Math faculty will continue to use that so that our students are provided the same quality instruction all through. We will continue English and Math summer and winter refresher 2-week programs, which is for the students who have attempted the the transfer level classes, but were unsuccessful. And lastly, we plan on to continue the summer bridge for college promise students, that is for English and Math preparation. This will be conducted by our Student Success Center faculty instructional specialist. And that will conclude our presentation for tonight, and we'll be glad to answer questions if you have any.
We'll start off with Trustee Ramos.
Earlier, I saw lower cap courses. By that, do you just mean like a smaller class size?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Dr. Little?
First of all, thank you so much for the report. And I'm just wondering how you all do plan to track the pre and post of the differential class sizes, and how frequently will you all share with us like the outcomes of any difference being made?
Thank you, Dr. Little, for the question. We're continuing to evaluate each of the interventions, depending on what the intervention is, but often the outcome that we're looking at is the ending grade. And so each term, when we're doing, based on the intervention, we are evaluating the impact. For some of these interventions, we haven't had success yet, but through working with faculty, they're trying to still tweak them. They're not giving up on them. They're trying to figure out how to make them more impactful for students. So each term we continue to evaluate, and we will provide regular updates.
Okay, so the grade is the primary indicator, quote unquote, of the effectiveness or lack thereof. I'm just wondering, are you guys accounting for other inputs that may be explaining the change in the grade outside of the interventions, or maybe even reasons why the students are not as successful as we may think because of other competing concerns or, you know, the economy, a whole lot of other things. So thank you. I know it's not an answer for right now, but just wanted to raise those as possible things to look at.
Thank you. Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, hello. Again, thank you guys very much for the report and the update. I'm very much interested with the math and the English. Of course, that's a core basis to education. So I would say, first, I would like to ask, with the low performance, you know, that a lot of I'm looking at the section regarding the equity for the equity data for the African-American students and the Latinx students. A lot of times, and I'm sure it's not really assumption, a lot of the reports, there's a lot of reports and studies out there that show that students in African-American students and students of color, there's a lot of barriers. So these students that are coming into us, coming into the community college, they already have, they are not really, they don't have a base level, a baseline of being ready for math and English a lot of times. So what additional support outside of the tutoring that you can offer those students? Maybe if those students are, is there like some online videos, maybe there's sessions or something, study groups that can be offered now that we're back in person. Maybe those are study groups that can be offered online, like at the library, or some other type of support check-in that students can kind of learn from each other, because, you know, we all learn differently. So I'm just thinking in terms of like maybe one-on-one tutoring, there's like some online videos or tutorials that can be offered to additional students to kind of meet them where they are, right? To kind of help them to succeed. And the other thing I wanted to ask, just below the, in addition to the equity portion, when you said that in addition with those students, I'm wondering, is there a direct correlation with those students that are taking those entry-level math and English classes because of the type of degree that they're pursuing? So say, for example, you know, if you are pursuing accounting, there's a different type of math that you would take versus someone that is pursuing science. I know a lot of times students of color, it depends on what, if they are transferring to a UC or like a Cal State, there's different requirements. So I guess my question is, do you see that as it relates to transferring, are those students, are they transferring into an additional field of study that does not necessarily require, say STEM particular math? Because I saw that in your data, or maybe if it was like non-STEM, if one of the categories, like on slide 6, if there was like a non-STEM degrees completion, if that is up there as well, the non-STEM, if you could just point that out to me.
Yeah.
If you could speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. There are different types of maths that we offer, and I'll defer to my colleague to describe those in a minute. But just to reference this slide, the cells that are labeled SLAM, SLAM, are those math for social sciences. So, and they're differentiated from the STEM, which is math for sciences, technology, engineering, and math.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if I may just start with the first question about those online resources that we have. We have a good part of that. We have the Net Tutor, where students can access and just access the resources by themselves. We have the EdReady that prepares the students for the classes that they are going to be taking. We have embedded tutoring, where peers kind of help their colleagues to be able to study and understand the concepts better. The The other question about the type of math that they take, yeah, the plan actually is that we have a placement default, which is that everybody will take the math 150 to make sure that they are able to take that and they can transfer whatever their program is. So that is what we expect every student to be able to take. Some of them, yes, like you mentioned, still want to take the lower one, but gradually we are reducing our offering, which makes it that we are going to be challenging those students to take the 150, which is the math, the first transfer level math, so that whatever the direction that they want to go, they are able to challenge themselves. Once they complete that, they are ready to go. They can graduate, they can transfer, and they can pursue their program, whichever directions they want to go. So these STEM students have a higher level math that they can also access, which is all transfer math classes. So any students, art, trade tech, or whatever they want to do, we encourage them to challenge themselves, go into the math 150 so that they can from there. Sometimes we received data that yes, they may take the class a couple of times before they are successful, but we are also reinforcing, improving the support that we are giving them so that the first time they take it, they are successful. We are ramping up the tutoring, we are ramping up the amount of support classes that we are offering so that they have those resources available on their first attempt and they are able to conclude that. For example, the latest data that we got about JIT workshops, almost all the students that participated were successful in their math 150. So that's the kind of plan we have. And like Dr. Sosenko said, we are still tweaking it here and there to be sure that every student that attempts the 150 can succeed on the first attempt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun.
Hi. You might have already answered this question. I don't know, but one time when you was talking, you were cut out and I didn't hear it. And you might have answered it, but what are we doing for the summer bridge prep for math and English for students not in the College Promise program? You might have answered it. I don't know because I didn't hear all your answers.
We have the, what's the other one called? The summer bridge, and also we have the summer referral or reference that we call it. They take it before they take the real class. That's usually offered in winter and also in summer.
And I will can I add that for Summer Bridge, we have had a few students who have asked to participate that weren't part of College Promise. And we've had just not a lot of interest in students participating in Summer Bridge. So we had availability for anyone who wanted to participate. But it was, initially it goes out to all the College Promise students, and that's how it's promoted for those students that are coming straight from high school for Summer Bridge.
And you might have answered this. What are we doing to increase the student participation in intervention for math and English? You might have answered it, but like I said, some of your talk was cut off for me.
Dr. Page, before you get to that, I want to just a comment regards to incentives. So over the last 2 years, working with the Guided Pathways Committee and also working with, we have 2 faculty members who are providing support in the Library Student Success Center for English and Math. And what the committees have been recommending is different types of incentives for student participation. So they've been giving out vouchers to students in regards to Uber Eats and other type of incentives. And we'll continue to monitor those types of incentives to see if it increases student participation. But now we're offering more incentives from the majority of the workshops that we're providing due to funding in Guided Pathways and also student equity achievement that were brought forward by the committee that includes faculty, staff, and also administrators. Dr. Page, you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, that's about what we're doing for now. We are also offering some vouchers. Some of our TST teams are also providing vouchers, book vouchers for those students if they participate and they are successful, just to encourage them to join all the prep classes and also the tutoring sessions that we offer, especially the just-in-time workshop. We encourage them to participate. If they do attend that, at least a couple of times, they get about $25 incentive for Uber Eats.
Okay. Can you go to page 5, please? I think that's the page I saw. What, who are the 3% others? And the math is 7% other. Are those classes? And then the English is 8% other. Is what is that? Classes?
Yeah.
Or?
Oh, sorry, Trustee Calhoun. That is just a label that the CalPAS Plus uses. They suppress group sizes that become very small. So our largest racial and ethnicity groups are Latinx and Black or African American. So when the other groups are very small, they collapse them together and just call them other. So that's what that represents.
On page 8. Let me see if I remember what my question was. And you might have answered this. You say, and I think you have African Americans and Latinx students need extra support. And at the bottom, you say interventions are either not reaching enough students or not having the impact that we want to see. You might answer, do you have any idea why? And what needs to change, and how can we reach them better? I don't know, I'm just asking.
Lauren, let me touch on this a little bit. The major issue, Trustee Calhoun, the major issue, and you've seen this a lot in research, especially as it relates to COVID and also just student success, is we have to be able to incentivize student participation. The major issue that you see is how do you compete when students are working adults or working students who have a job or participate in athletics or other activities, figuring out ways to incentivize their participation from vouchers, from other types of incentives that students see a benefit. Because right now, with so many other outside factors, it's difficult for students to see what the benefits are because they have other family obligations or financial commitments they have to make. So trying to find that tutoring time or to be on campus for tutoring is very difficult. But also too, I would say what's important as relates to our students participating is making sure that these workshops that are being provided for them at a time that they're able to participate. It can be provided in person or via Zoom. So being really flexible with our scheduling for that as well. And then also, I think, and I don't know if the staff tonight touched on this, but the work that the math faculty have done, and we pay for this, regards to creating Canvas shells for their transfer level math courses, and the faculty are teaching at the same time. And what I mean by that is that they're following the same curriculum throughout the semester. So when students need to go or participate in these types of workshops, they're able to participate, and it could be any faculty member who's able to provide it for them. And so that to me is another way of getting more participation, because the students are at the same, regardless of who the teacher is, if they're working on equations, all students are working on equations at the same time period. And that should be able to help us as well. And I let the staff add to that as well.
That was great, Dr. Curry. The only thing I would add is that for the interventions where we haven't seen an impact, faculty really have been taking that seriously and going back to the drawing board about trying to figure out why, that it was intended to have an positive impact, but it didn't have that result. And they're really trying to tweak and make it better for the next time. And we will continue to test it and make sure that we are tracking the outcomes to see where we should put our resources to best support students.
Okay, so maybe I'm asking the wrong question. We understand, all of us understand that students are having are working because they're helping their parents during the pandemic. People have lost their jobs, and their focus is on working and not education. And so what you're saying is we're trying to figure out a way, although they are working, how we can assist them and still taking classes and show them that there is an easier route and they can still attend college, whether it's online or in person, and you model it to their working hours of each individual, because each individual is different when it comes to their working hours and have to go back home and be with their family or cook or whatever. Is that what you're saying? Or did I miss the whole point?
Yes, ma'am. We're trying as much as possible to encourage students to participate in some of these support activities that we are giving to them. For example, we are working more to have the embedded tutoring, where the tutoring is also done during class time, and also some of the just-in-time workshops that we have been planning. We either put it just before the class or immediately after the class, so that the student can have the time together to do whatever they have to do instead of coming back another day for tutoring and stuff like that. So we are trying to help as much as possible so that it's almost everyone that needs the resource or the support will have access. That's as much, and that's actually where
It is. So you might not can't answer this question, and it's okay if you don't. Is AB 705 really working? It's okay.
It's the desire of all of us to make sure that our students reduce the amount of semesters they are on our campus. We want them to come in, take the necessary classes, and move on. So some of the things that we started actually have been negatively impacted by COVID-19. The results that we expected, we didn't get because we had to shift everything remote. But we are also hoping that when we come back to the campus and we can do these in-person interactive activities, it will encourage the students to do better, attend classes more, and participate in all the activities that we have for them. So we are looking forward to better data as we move forward, as we come back to school in fall, and we hope that the students also will be encouraged to come back, and we hope that, yes, it's going to make a positive impact eventually on the data that we'll present to you soon.
Thank you so much for this great information. And thank you so much for answering all of our questions and the things that we were asking. Thank you both so much. Each person that had the opportunity to talk and give us this report, I really like this report. And you ladies and gentlemen are doing a fantastic job in really trying to assist and help our students to get back on track. And so thank you so much. That's all for me, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Yeah. We are.
The next presentation is Lionel Wiggins providing an update on the Compton College Strong Workforce. And Dr. Lionel Wiggins is the Director of Adult Education Workforce Development. I just gave him a doctorate.
No, take that back. Members of the board, President Curry, and attendees today, thank you for the opportunity to share where we are with strong workforce funding here at Compton College. The subtitle here that we are using work-based learning as a strategy for career success. I can pretty much end the presentation right there. That is our now, that is our future focus. Next slide. The contents of this presentation will touch on the Los Angeles Regional Consortium model and how that entity is kind of providing guidance for the regional strong workforce funding as to programs and considerations that we should make on our local campuses through our local strong workforce funding that we get at the college, and how it's created new programs. Over the last couple of years, we've developed new programs as well as certificates and connected with our work-based learning strategy. We see it as a motivational component. So as we talked about the idea of incentives, Dr. Curry mentioned in the last presentation, that's something that we want to touch on. So we're engaging in strategies that help students to see the types of careers that they may want to be in one day. And we'll tell you a little bit about that. Our Compton College Core is another area we'll touch on, where we received $2.175 million to engage in service learning, 125 paid internship positions that we will be unveiling this academic year. And if I were to just highlight one slide, it's the last one, work-based learning success stories. We're gonna share a little bit with a few of our machine tool technology students and how they moved from an internship this past semester to full-time employment. So this slide highlights the LA Regional Consortium's model for how they are governing the strong workforce funding that comes in the region, and we're supposed to collaborate with other community colleges. And you see in the middle there, it says CEO board. Dr. Curry is one of 19 CEOs, as well as the chancellor of the LA Community College District, that serves on the board and gives direction to the funds that come into the region. And the Workforce Council is made up of 19 CTE deans. Dr. Paul Floor is our voting member. I am his alternate, and I attend the meetings on his behalf. And we are trying to, increase access for students in various programs, remove barriers, and ultimately increase student success as it relates to the vision for success metrics such as helping students acquire employment, increased earnings, et cetera, et cetera. Let's go on to the next slide. So that primary structure kind of gives us a roadmap for how we should utilize our regional funding here at our campus, and how the regional programs sort of give a direction to our local programs. Here you have a list of regional programs that were developed. Each community colleges are asked to develop a proposal. And if your community college wants to participate, you assert your interest. And in essence, you can see the amounts on the far right side that we've received at the college this past year. So many of the, for our local funds, many of the funds that we receive, they go towards positions, such as 50% might go towards the payment of my position, career researcher, a career pathways coordinator, a job placement specialist, et cetera, et cetera. And it allows us to organize ourselves and be able to support students towards their employment goals. Next slide, please. And here are some of the new programs that we've been able to really build. A regional program in biomanufacturing. We have a new certificate of achievement developed by Dr. Catherine Marsh. We received upwards of $200,000 in 1 year just to go towards that program. But you see a variety of other programs as well, such as the Careers for Cause. This was a non-credit, 2 non-credit courses that were taken, and students earned a basic career training certificate, but they were paid hourly while going to school and building employability skills. It was in concert with the LA County Workforce Development, Aging and Community Services Division. And in essence, these students just earned full-time employment. Some of them have gone on to internships as we speak, actually. I'm not going to touch on the last two because we will touch on them in the coming slides. Next slide, please. So if you go down to the bottom of this slide, you will see items 1 through 7. These criteria define what work-based learning is. And when I say use work-based learning as a motivational strategy, I'm saying help students figure out a sense of the types of careers they might be interested in and get some experience. So go on a job site tour. Let's bring industry into the classroom. Engage in an internship or summer employment, connect it to your major. Let's get you some on-the-job training so you can develop specific techniques and standards related to your particular career area that you'd like to go into. We just received, well, I'm not supposed to say this, but we may have received about $500-something thousand for a new apprenticeship program. We're hopeful that the Board of Governors will approve that. And that's in the commercial music technology area. That is an exciting venture, and our Compton USD partners are hopeful to create their own pre-apprenticeship that would connect with the college. Dr. Curry had great vision in pushing the college and considering that opportunity. And last but not least, our Compton College Corps as a part of the California Volunteers out of the governor's office. This is where we have those 125 paid opportunities. We're going to use those as carrots to help initiate interest for potential students that might come to the college. Next slide, please. This is a group of machine tool technology students that we took. If you make a right at the stoplight right outside the college and take a 3-minute drive, you will get to the Fastener Innovation Technology Company. It's a part of Advantis Aerospace, and students got a chance to see the manufacturing environment and to really engage in understanding what that company did. Out of the Career Clarity and Strong Workforce Action Committee, there were recommendations that went forth that said we should really focus here at the campus on prioritizing work-based learning. And the Board of Trustees in their 4th goal identified California Competes, the work that was done with them, that we need to take some of those strategies and really look to implement them. So that's what we did. And the SWAC committee on May 16th affirmed this reality. And so that's what we're going to really push for as we move forward in PD and trying to help our campus understand what we're doing with this work-based learning concept and how it all connects. Next slide, please. The Compton College Corps. This is to be our underlying strategy for all majors to help students engage in service learning and to develop a sense of civic mindedness and how they can help others through food insecurity. Maybe you have technology skill and want to learn how to help a community member. So we're going to have a help desk oriented structure where students can participate, community members can call in and say, I can't put my computer together. Can you guys send someone out to help me? And we'll be able to dispatch a couple of students to go do that. Those students will get paid hourly. They will get their mileage reimbursed. We're looking to help students connect real world experiences towards their future career interests. We can even accept up to 25 dreamers because the California Corps is a AmeriCorps program, so it's federal. Typically, those funds can't go towards undocumented students. But we've figured out a way, well, the governor's office figured out a way to make it accessible for everyone. These students will earn up to $7,000. If they complete 450 hours in a year, they get an additional $3,000. This is fantastic, and we really want to leverage and pump this idea out to the community. Next slide. So that brings me to 3 of our students that I'd like to highlight. They got a chance to go through a heading training that was 10 weeks. And they learned the specifics of the specialization, and the employer didn't want to let them go. Let's hear some of their stories. Click the link. Oh, are we not connected? It's okay. But what we can see here as I narrate, the students had a great opportunity to explore the facility. And on this particular day, that's Ova Carlson. He actually wrote the curriculum for Compton College's aerospace fastener program through machine tool technology. And those two students in particular were able to complete their internship, and they got hired full time. So if you ever get a chance, go online and take a look at this video. Their stories are really impactful. We're really excited for the future of integrating this type of structure in every one of our major areas. Thank you.
Trustee Ramos, you have any questions?
No, thank you for this detailed presentation.
Dr. Little?
First of all, just thank you so much for this really robust presentation. I think that I'm really excited to see how we are incorporating our academic foundation with workforce application and really thinking about innovative ways to not only meet students at their interests and their passions, but to also really provide foundations for career roles and transferable skills that they can utilize for their multiple interests. Just wanted to ask if, as we move forward about more information around the aerospace and potential ways in which we can think of expounding on that. Compton College is in very close proximity to the Compton Airport, the aerospace, but in particular, pilots and everything around that, whether it be mechanics, as well as there was an ad for air traffic controllers right now that they're hiring for that start at $100,000 on up. Again, there are a lot of opportunities, and I think that Compton College can really be a beacon in that area. There are only 2% Black pilots and around the same for Latin and Hispanic. And so I think because of our student demographic and population, that this could be a really great opportunity to continue to seize upon these different industries. So thank you all so much, and just continue the great work.
Thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yeah, I do have something. Yes, thank you, Mr. Wiggins. I would just like to, in addition to what Dr. Little said, I would say first of all, congratulations on that, on the success.
Thank you.
Of that program. But just like Dr. Little said, aerospace is huge. I'm just wondering if there's an area where you're doing promotion of that, right? Because we know that in your circle, so we love to hear about the success of our students and for the presentation. That outside of this community here and the promotional and marketing, in addition to being in this community, aerospace has. We also have a new budding SpaceX industry. Long Beach is not considered something whatever. But I'm just saying, so tapping into those additional areas as well in terms of employment. So that's I'm really good to hear that. Take those.
Sure. I'm definitely doing so.
And also I would say, going back to congratulations on the apprenticeship and good luck with that. That kind of goes into the scheme, which we were talking about earlier.
But if you, into number 7 about the Compton Community College Core, do you have an idea or a projected timeline on the implementation of that program?
Yes. The AmeriCorps program is a heavily scrutinized, structured program. And currently, we are about to begin the application phase. We're in the midst of the application phase for students who are interested. By the end of August, the idea is to have students selected. And for fall, the beginning of the semester, students will be working. We have companies that are also onboarding themselves. There's an interest application, and nonprofits and other organizations that would like to have an intern, they complete it and we sort of vet them. So yeah, they have a complete timeline. Actually, the remaining dates are listed in the board letter.
Yes.
We have the remaining dates in the structure of what we have left to complete, but we have a July 8th deadline to have all of their requirements met, which are numerous. But it's been an interesting process to learn about how the AmeriCorps program is structured. There are numerous trainings that the students will go through that are integrated into the program as well.
Yes. Okay, thank you. That's all I.
Trustee Calhoun.
On the page that you're on, is that page 8? Okay. So I'm just curious, it says up to 25 positions for dreamers and undocumented students. Is that only for the dreamers, or does that include the African Americans also?
That's actually part of the 125. So, and that's if dreamers apply. So it could be 125 traditional resident students, or it can be up to 25 dreamers as a part of that 125. Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah. So
no,
it
not,
could be,
no, not to me, but it makes sense to y'all.
well, let me clarify. We only have funding for up to 25 dreamers or undocumented students out of that total of 125. We can only have 25 participants based on the structure of the program.
I got that.
Mhm.
I got that. I see it says 125 service learning positions at nonprofits and community locations earn yada, yada, yada. Get that? And then it say up to 25 positions for dreamers and undocumented students. I got that. Complete for, I have that. At the top where it says 125 service learning positions at nonprofits. I'm just saying at the bottom, you specified dreamers and undocumented students. How would I know as an African-American that I could be part of the 125?
That's a good point.
Okay.
We have in a lot of our marketing material, it's very descriptive on our webpage, and when they have to go through an orientation, but we're going to be engaging in direct recruitment of students on campus. So we'll be pulling people in to kind of tell them about the program, as well as through our marketing. Part of our reporting, we have to respond and say how many people are looking at our website, how many people saw your social media ads. So I'll be working with Heather Parnott to kind of get some of those hard data. We have to report that on a bi-monthly basis, every 2 weeks.
Okay, did you skip over my question because you said that's a good question?
About
How would I know?
How would
125?
you know
That
that it's open to you as well?
I'm just saying, you said that was a good question I asked you.
Yeah, not in this slide. I didn't specifically list it, but that,
No, okay. Dr. Wiggins, I asked you, out of 125, I understand the 25 positions for dreamers and undocumented students.
okay.
I asked you, the question is, how, as an African-American student, how would I know that I could apply for that? And you said, that's a good question.
Yes.
Lionel, can I interject?
Sure.
So one of the things I would like to say about this, Trustee Calhoun, is that we need to review our marketing materials regards to for the program. And that happens, we have the report that's due by, I think it's July 8th. But we have 125 slots that are available for students. 25 are dreamers and also undocumented students can participate. So let us go back and look at our documentation and be able to provide an update to the board as it relates to our recruitment and marketing efforts for students to be able to participate in the program. And we could be able to provide a report to the board within the next couple of weeks. So we can be able to provide, so you'll be able to, so after that, hopefully I can answer your questions. And if not, we can bring it back to the next board meeting. But let's go back and do some research on this question.
Okay, he kind of answered it, so.
But I also think but I think your question brought out something for me regards to our recruitment and how do we communicate in the language that we're using in our communication. Because when I think about the dreamers and undocumented students, a lot of times people look at those students as they're Latino or Latinx. Well, there's dreamers and undocumented students could come from anywhere, right? It's not just one certain group. And so I just want to make sure that the campus community and also the people, potential students, are aware of the grant opportunity and how we communicate that to them so they feel that this opportunity is something that can be successful.
I think Abe might have to be told to bring his.
Pilar, we can hear you. Thank you. So let us get back to you, Trustee Calhoun, on that question.
Okay, thank you. Great PowerPoint. I'm really interested in that business that you took him to, and Dr. Little had a great thing about the Tomorrow Aeronauticals over there at the Compton Airport. And thank you for that report. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
The next presentation, the budget presentation, Dr. Abdul Nasser.
President Lopez, Board Trustees, President Curry and colleagues, we present to you the 2022-23 tentative budget. We're going to cover the assumptions, share with you the unrestricted general fund budget, other fund budgets, and then entertain any questions you may have. Next slide, please. So the budget assumptions, as you know, we're still closing the fiscal year. And so at this point, estimate that the end of the fiscal year, our ending balance will be about 18.5 million. Our revenue is estimated at $47 million. We have budgeted the hold harmless at 59.80. COLA is at this point 6.56%. Just a reminder that the legislature still has to sign Governor Newsom has to sign the budget bill. And so those numbers may change. Employee retirement systems, CalPERS and CalSTRS are going up, as you can see the numbers. And then projected utilities, we are projecting about 18% increase in utilities. As you all know, price of fuel is just going through the roof. 7 faculty positions, these will be funded from the state. So those are the positions, and we've discussed these at prior board meetings. These 2 positions are currently being funded from the recovery fund. And the recovery fund ends this current fiscal year, so we have to move these 2 remaining positions to the general unrestricted fund. And so we have some one-time augmentations, 905,000. As you can see, the first item there is our high priority, 600,000 for enrollment management. The line of credit, 1.6 million. We're planning, as you had approved last year, to fully pay off line of credit by 2026. And so we are on that trajectory. We are putting money aside on the OPEB and on the STIRS. Next page. And we are setting reserves. As I told you a moment ago, the Fund 1.9, which is the recovery fund, ends this fiscal year. That funded primarily a lot of the elution, the enterprise resource planning. And so we'll have to have some set aside reserves for that. District Personnel Commission, 400,000, and one time for a future college fire academy of $350,000. We are planning for $5.3 million in interfund transfers. The first one is to fund the property and liability. The next one is a child development. We're setting aside $1.3 million in capital outlay. So we have computer replacement. All the computers in anybody's desk, any lab will be up until 2027 will be fully up to date. The transfer of $300,000 for capital outlay, and the next one, $3 million, is basically to address the visual performing arts and the physical education plan complex. The costs are increasing, and so we have to set funds aside to address those increased costs. And $150,000 for the housing study. Dr. Curry, did you want to talk about the housing?
I guess since Dr. Nasser wants to put it out there. So as I mentioned in my newsletter yesterday, Compton College was one of 12 community colleges. And I think we got the largest amount, but we're receiving $80 million to build 250-bed facility for our students. And so we're really excited about that. And so now in our budget, we're continuing the work that we have to do in regards to our sequel study. And then also we're in the process of hiring an architect in regards to the project. But this is good news for Compton, and we will be the first community college in LA County to have student housing.
Thank you, Dr. Curry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
Those are that's what the numbers look like at this point. I mentioned 18 million beginning fund balance. Based on the tentative budget that you'll be approving today, our ending fund balance will be about 12 million. Again, all those numbers are estimated. Next slide, please. These are the restricted funds, primarily grants. Next slide. These are bond funds, Series A, Measure C and Measure CC, Series A, D, and E. Next slide, please. This is financial aid. We dispense about 12 million plus in financial aid to our students. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Trustee Ramos.
No questions. Thank you for the report.
Dr. Little.
No questions, but I can't hear. Sorry.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, with the additional, the classified positions that you said that had to move into a different fund bucket. Is that annotated in this slide someplace?
So
are you projecting where it's in the additional, like in the general fund, where you have everything listed? Is there a line item? Have you already kind of?
Right, so it's already transferred.
Where is it?
I mean, it won't show up there because that's just a summary,
Yes,
but it's already calculated in those numbers.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So you've already allotted for the adjustment
Absolutely.
moving over. Okay.
Absolutely. Thanks for
All
the
right,
question.
thank you. No problem.
Trustee Calhoun.
No questions. I went over it real good. No questions.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving on to item number 14 for 2022-2023 Compton Community College District tentative budget. Do I have a motion for 14.01, the adoption of the 2022-2023 Compton Community College District tentative budget?
So move.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos
Second.
and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion, trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little,
No discussion.
trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
See no discussion, if you could please do your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, let me know if you would like a verbal vote.
I got it one time, look like I can't do it this time, but I'm gonna work on this. Verbal vote is yes, but I'm still trying.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to item 14.02. Moving on to item 14.02, Compton Community College District Resolution Number 0627-2022B to establish gains limit fiscal year for 2022-2023. And I have a motion.
So moved.
It's been moved by Dr. Little,
Second.
and it's been seconded by trustee Ramos. Board members, if you can cast your online vote.
Ms.
Trustee
Calhoun.
Calhoun, let me know if you're,
We just need hers.
for your verbal vote.
She got it. Mhm. It's good.
Oh,
It's a unanimous yes vote.
thank you. Moving on to item number 15 for consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
It has been moved by,
Second.
it has been moved by Dr. Little and seconded by trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion, board members? Trustee Ramos.
I do not
Give me
think
the item numbers first, and then we'll go into detail.
there's no items I want to speak on. Thank you.
Dr. Little,
No, not tonight. Thank you.
trustee Dopplemore,
Yes. 1506. That's the only one.
all right. Trustee Calhoun,
What did I do wrong?
we're on number 15. If you could just let me know the item numbers, and then we could go back to them in order.
Oh.
Are there any items you'd like to discuss? I wasn't sure if you're looking for the items or you're.
President Lopez, if you clarify, it's not a vote.
Okay, would you like your questions reviewed, trustee Calhoun, or would you like him to just post them on the chat? In the meantime, trustee Dopplemore, if you want to start with 15.06.
Yes, 1506, I just wanted to know if I could, basically the success of the dual enrollment program at Paramount, between Compton College and Paramount Unified School District, and also like, the number, of pathways and classes, that the students are currently taking.
So if you have a, can I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, let me-
So in the board packet, we also included an update on dual enrollment, and it provides you with the numbers for our students who are from Paramount Unified School District. If you look at the board agenda in the information section, we provide the information that you're mentioning regards to the pathways and numbers. And so we can provide more information as well. Depends on what else are you looking for, but included now in item 20.11 has dual enrollment information and is broken down by schools. And you can see what courses students are enrolled in and then the numbers for the summer. But we can also provide the numbers for the fall. Also too, just so you're aware, we do have a dashboard for dual enrollment that we continue to update. I know it's will be updated this summer as well, but it shows success and retention of our students. And we can share that dashboard. We did previously, I think prior to your arrival on the board, but we can share that dashboard with you. And once it's updated with the data for spring of this year, we can also share that as well with the board.
Okay, thank you. And you said that right now is in the information section?
Yeah, it's information section 20.11 of what we're doing. For dual enrollment. Is there anything else special that you would like regards to Paramount? We can provide that as well. One of our things we're trying to just continue to improve on with data under direction of Lawrence Sisenko is making sure that we have the dashboards available so you'll be able to get real-time data. So you can be able to look at our dashboard for dual enrollment. You can look at it for Paramount Unified School District. And also you can dual enrollment, not only 82, 88, but also afternoon classes, all the programs that we offer. And you can also see that data disaggregated by student and by race.
Thank you.
Oh.
Very good. Thank you.
And Trustee Calhoun stated that she has sent her questions to Dr. Curry and would like for you to drop them in the chat.
And I do it right now.
All right, seeing no further discussion. If you can. Correct. You will cast your vote online. And Trustee Calhoun, if you're still unable to do your online vote, please let me know and I could take a verbal. It's just one. Trustee Calhoun? She's unable to mute herself. Can we have, there you go. You're unmuted now.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what I did wrong, but I heard you tell Dr. Curry to put my questions in the chat.
Correct.
wanted-
At the moment, we are casting our votes, and I think I am asking you if you'd like to do a verbal vote or consent item number 15.
Okay, yes, and then I'm gonna try to figure out what's wrong with this. I might have to go out, y'all.
Got it.
That's unanimous, yes.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 16 for action items. 16.01 Compton Community College District Resolution 0627-2022G to retire current mascot and adopt new mascot. Board members, can I get a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Calhoun. Do I have a second?
Second.
And it's been seconded by trustee Ramos. Board members, do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
Yes, I just had a question. I know it says as a result of the students, and I'm just wondering what the process is is it going to be a student vote? And the recommendation is, I get the historical piece or the inclusion piece. I'm just wondering what is going to be the process for reconsideration?
For reconsideration of the Tartar mascot?
Of that one or any new one?
So the record, sorry, trustee Board President Lopez?
Yes, can you make sure your mic's on when you're talking?
It's on. So the recommendation from the committee is that the Tartar mascot is retired. And then the committee will be working with campus constituent groups and developing a process to identify a new mascot for Compton College. So the recommendation that's being brought before the board is to retire the current mascot and adopt a new mascot in the future through this process.
Okay, but that process has not been set up. It's just a date.
It's a date. And so what the committee, this is this recommendation was brought forward by the Associated Student Body, Associated Student Government, and one of the concerns that we have had was just the timing, because it's a lot to get from point A to point Z as relates to this work. And so the committee has worked and they want to retire within a 3-year period. That gives us time to change signage. We have to work regards to athletics, regards to the Tartar mascot, where you utilize that. But we just want to give us some time. And then also we'll be working on the process to select a new mascot. And based off this resolution, that's something that we'll be working on for the next year, fiscal year. So the goal is to be able to retire and have a new mascot within 3 years.
Okay, and we will, as a board and as community stakeholders, be able to weigh in on some of the considerations or the process?
Yes. And so as we did with this process, we did surveys, they did surveys to the community. So I anticipate a lot of surveys, a lot of conversations regards to a new mascot will occur over the next year.
Okay.
If there's any recommendations from the board, I would love to hear those as well.
Okay, I think I'm just referencing that whatever the mascot is, just a process of inclusion across the different stakeholder and constituency groups, and that we're cognizant of where we are in this time in history. And when you talk about a mascot, the longevity of that is representative and reflective. And so just wanting to ensure that we have a robust process that will, go well beyond our time here. Thank you.
Dr. Little?
Yes.
I just have a question, if you don't mind, Chair Lopez.
Yes, let me just get to trustee Dopplemore and you're following.
Okay.
Yes, my question is, I just wanted to know the cost associated with changing of the mascot. And just to make sure that the outreach that the students have also had the opportunity. I know I've seen some of the some of the discussion and the communication on social media, but were there surveys or is this really this move? Is it a voice from the students, or is it just like a percentage of the students? Number two, and let me see, what was the third one? So it was the cost, the students weighing in, and what a recommendation that I would like to see before something like this comes about is not just to change the mascot, but to have an idea. I think there's like 3 or 4 different considerations of mascots. So if they had something to say, this is the one that's most likely, that's going to be, you know, the representative of what we're going to bring forward to be the new mascot. I'd like to see that as well, as opposed to just saying, let's just change the mascot, but we don't have an idea, or we haven't decided who's going to be the new mascot.
But I would say, man.
Yeah.
So it's about, right now, it's about the process. So last month, we included information about this, and also including the board packet, we included the link to the Charter Mascot Review. It wasn't just the association government. You had faculty and staff who participated, and we reached out to have alumni participate as well. We did surveys, and the survey data is included in this as also. And then we did another survey in March regarding this as well. I thought the task force did a really good job regards to their the next steps, and it also includes in their potential budget for $75,000 to $150,000. And in my response back to the committee, we're gonna make a recommendation for the final budget to include the funding to move forward. But this is something that was worked on by our constituent groups regards to the target mascot, and I recommend approval.
Trustee Calhoun.
Okay, there's a lot of background noise. It might be mine, I don't know, let me know, but I
Trustee
hear a
Calhoun,
lot.
can you wait for 1 second? I can fix it real quick, okay?
Okay,
Just give me 1 second. Just gotta go
Okay.
get the board docs to the camera. Got, okay, perfect.
okay. Well, Dr. Curry, you said what I was gonna say, because I've been reading the information that was given to us about the mascot and what was going on and who was involved. And I just wonder, Dr. Little, could you tell me who you was talking about when you said constituents or stakeholders? Because I was thinking that you were talking about the faculty, the people that have been going to Compton College. What do you call them? You know, the ones been there that's no longer there.
The alumni. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking
Okay. Thank
about-
you. Was that what
Yeah,
you was talking about?
once the process has begun, I know we engage stakeholders to get to the decision to change it. I'm saying that we want to ensure that we have a broad representation when we are going through the process to determine the new mascot, and that it's representative of both the history of the campus, also a broad representation of the students, faculty, staff, so that it's inclusive. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
No, I just wanted to make sure that's what you were saying. I just wanted to verify, because I think a lot of that was in an email, but it's good to bring it up. It's still good to bring it up. Thank you. You clarified it for me. Thank you, Dr. Little.
Thank you.
All right, seeing no further discussion, we will be casting our votes on the item. Trustee Calhoun, if you could do a verbal vote until your system is up and running.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And just to confirm, you are agreeing to the verbal vote, but you're also stating yes as your vote?
Yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to item 16.02, Administrative Services, Compton Community College District Resolution Number 07/2022 H, Budget Augmentations for the fiscal year 2021-2022. Do Do I have a motion?
Okay, I'm gonna say so moved.
It's been moved by trustee Calhoun
Second,
and seconded by trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
no discussion.
Dr. Little? Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
No discussion, trustee Dopplemore.
Trustee Calhoun? Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
Thank you. Board members, please cast your vote. Trustee Calhoun, if you could cast your vote verbally.
Yes.
Thank you. Trustee Ramos, we are pending on your vote.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to 16.03, Administrative Services for Compton Community College District Resolution Number 0727-2022, I budget transfers for the fiscal year of 2021-2022. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved. Okay,
Second,
second.
Can I try that one more time?
so moved.
Ramos moved, I second.
All right, it's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Calhoun. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
Seeing no discussion, please cast your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, if I can get your verbal vote.
Yes.
Unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to 16.04, Administrative Services Contracts over 99,100 for Atkinson, Edelson, Loya, Rudd, and Romo. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second,
It's been moved by trustee Calhoun and seconded by trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
is there a reason why we're not approving the contracts together?
The voting, not a consent.
Oh, because given our new online platform, we are not able to group them anymore, so it's part of an
Okay.
action item. So
Okay, I
it just
understand.
has to be casted.
Okay, no discussion.
Got it. Moving on to Dr. Little,
No discussion.
trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
See no discussion, if you could please cast your vote, board members, and trustee Calhoun, if I can get your vote, please.
Yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to 16.05 for administrative services, contracts over 99,100, protected insurance program for schools joint powers authority.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos. Was that Dr. Little?
Yes.
Thank you. And it was seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos,
No discussion.
Dr. Little. Trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
trustee Calhoun.
Discussion.
All right, seeing no discussion, board members, please cast your vote. Trustee Calhoun, if you could please cast your vote verbally.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you said yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to 16.06, administrative services for contracts over 9,900 $99,100 Securitas Security Services USA Incorporated. Do I have
So
a
moved.
motion?
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos.
Yes, briefly, I just wanted to know if we've been provided a timeline of when we're expecting to hire completely the police office, campus police.
So including in the board letter that we provided an update for hiring police officers. And so we're in the process of adding more police officers. It's just, we had a couple that resigned, and so we continue the hiring. We want to get to full staff sometime this next year. But as I look at the great resignation of things that are happening, is I think we'll always be hiring for campus police officers. But we provide an update in the board letter, and we can continue to provide an update as it relates to where we're at. And next month, you'll begin an update on staffing, which will include an update on hiring for the police department.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Little,
No question.
trustee Dopplemore,
No discussion.
trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
See no discussion, board members, if you could do your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, if you could please cast your vote verbally.
Yes.
Recording in progress.
Dr. Little, we're waiting on your vote.
That's a unanimous yes.
Moving on to item 16.07 for administrative services, contracts over 99,100, amendment to every table. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
One second.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos.
No discussion.
Dr. Little.
Just to clarify that this is continuing the work that we've begun in terms of providing food for our students.
Yes, so what we had to do, we just want to clarify with every table our contract. See, our original contract had basically the operating cafeteria. So we included additional language in the contract as amendment regards to food for faculty, staff, and most importantly, our students through June 30th of 2023. And that just lays out they're providing the food for our students.
Thank you.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
See no discussion. If you could please cast your vote online. Trustee Calhoun, if you could give it to us verbally.
Yes.
Unanimous yes vote.
16.08 administrative services for Compton College donation of property hyphen piano.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos.
No discussion.
Dr. Little.
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
Seeing no discussion, if you could please cast your vote online. Trustee Calhoun, if you could give it to us verbally.
Yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to 16.09, facilities planning and development, contracts over 99,100 for Johnson Controls Fire Protection LP. So I have a motion, board members.
Moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos.
No discussion.
Dr. Little.
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore.
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun.
No discussion.
Seeing no discussion, board members, if you can cast your vote online. Trustee Calhoun, if you could give it to us verbally.
Yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to 16.10, facilities planning and development, change order number 1 for Lettner Roofing Company. Report for Building D and North Canopy Roof Replacement Project.
So moved.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos. Do I have a second? It's been seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos? Dr. Little?
No discussion.
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
See no discussion. If you could do your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, if you could please provide it to us verbally.
Yes.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
16.11, facilities planning and development, contracts over 99,100 for Stanley Convergent Security Solutions Incorporated for building security products and services. Is there a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Calhoun. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little?
No discussion.
Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
See no discussion. If you could do your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, if you could provide it to us verbally.
Yes.
Dr. Little, we are waiting on the thank you.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
16.12, facilities planning and development, contracts over 99,100, amendment for SOAP, education, construction, insurance, instructional building number 2.
So moved.
Motion?
Second.
It was moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Calhoun. Do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Dr. Little? Trustee Dopplemore?
No discussion.
Trustee Calhoun?
No discussion.
Seeing
No discussion.
Thank you. See no discussion. If you could do your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, if you could provide it verbally.
I'm gonna say yes, but can you try sending it to me again? I've worked on this laptop. I'm trying to see if it comes in.
All right, it's been sent to you.
Answer is yes, it didn't come.
That's a unanimous yes.
Oh, I
vote.
got it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Moving on to item number 17 for discussion slash action. 17.01 Compton Community College District Board Retreat is set for July 23rd. Dr. Curry.
No updates. I was met with Dr. Helen Benjamin about a week ago in regards to the retreat. These are some of the items that she mentioned for the agenda. And she said she will be reaching out to trustee Lopez to finalize the agenda, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So this is what we're looking at. I just want to remind the board that this meeting will happen on July 23rd. And it'll be via Zoom. There will not be an in-person option for this, but it'll be on Zoom. And we will post the agenda a couple of days before the retreat.
Board members, do we have any discussion? Trustee Ramos?
No discussion.
Trustee
Discussion, no discussion.
Dopplemore?
No discussion for me.
Trustee
No discussion.
Calhoun?
No discussion.
All right, thank you. There's no vote on that. So moving on to 17.02 Compton College full-time equivalent students. Dr. Curry.
I'll just give you an update of where we're at in regards to full-time equivalent students. We are in a push now for the fall semester and fall enrollment. So we want to continue to get the word out there in regards to registration. I know we have postcards and stuff going out as well, and also additional advertising for the fall enrollment. So our hope is to continue to push and to please encourage community members, to please encourage members to participate.
Board members, do we have any discussion on this item?
Yes.
Trustee Dopplemore.
If you could just Dr. Curry, just the success, if we can get an update on the success of the marketing and the outreach that's happening. I think the boards along the billboards, like along the 91 freeway, more of the outreach I'm seeing with our neighboring community colleges, how they're really utilizing the social media. If we could just up that a little bit more for marketing, just to keep it top of mind to students so they can consider Compton College as their choice. That's all. Thank you.
Any other board member? Right, moving on to 17.03, 2020, 2021 Compton College Annual Fact Book. Dr. Curry.
This is just our updated data in regards to our fact book. It's online for individuals to be able to drill down for data regards to about our students, student outcomes, and also instructional programs and services. This is a yearly item for the Board of Trustees and also for the campus community.
Board members, do we have any discussion on this item? Moving on to item number 18 for grant items, 18.01 Administrative Services for Grants, Ratification of OPD California Volunteers, CCGF 022. Do I have a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by Dr. Little. Do we have any discussion on this item, board members? See no discussion, if you could please do your online vote. Trustee Calhoun, if it does not work for you, if you could provide me your verbal.
That's a unanimous yes.
Moving on to 18.02 Administrative Services Grant Ratification, OPD California Volunteers 0650 CCSFRF 022. There a
So
motion?
moved.
Second.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and is seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion, board members? See no discussion, if you could cast your online vote.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
18.03 Administrative Services Grants Ratification for OPD California Volunteers 0650-CCGF 022.
I'll make a motion.
It's been moved by trustee Dopplemore
Second.
and it's been seconded by trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion, board members? See no discussion, if you could cast your vote online.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
18.04 Administrative Services Grants Amendment A1-OPD California Volunteer 0650-CCSFRF 022.
Motion.
Do I have a motion? It's been moved by trustee
Second.
Dopplemore and it's been seconded by trustee Ramos. Do we have any discussion, board members? See no discussion, if you could cast your vote online.
Yes vote.
18.05 Administrative Services for Grant Amendment South Bay Workforce Investment Board, City of Inglewood 22-W130. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it.
It's been moved by trustee Ramos and seconded by trustee Dopplemore. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, if you could cast your online vote.
That's a unanimous yes vote.
Moving on to item number 19, board policies and administrative regulations. Dr. Curry.
These are just the updates regards to board policy administrative regulations for review by the board. We're continuing to push. We're a little bit behind regards to item number 19.01 of all the board policies that we have to review this year, but we'll be coming back to that with the board at the July board meeting.
Board members, before I move forward, is there any questions or comments on item numbers 19.01 through 19.07? Seeing no discussion, moving on to item number 20 for information items. Dr. Curry.
So we have several information items on today's board meeting agenda. There's a lot that's happening. I want to make sure I go through these items for you. So if you look at the agenda, I'm taking some time today in regards to these items. So we have the board goals. We also have the want to just provide just continue to look at the action plan document. We provided you with the update on the action plan for Compton as you get that every quarter. And thank you to institutional effectiveness for that. Also want to give you an update on the Oliver W. Connor estate. I think it's important every month you're receiving an update in regards to state. I meet with our trustee for the state once a month as well. And our trustee prepares the report. We're doing a lot of work in this area regards to the property. And so I want to make sure the board members have a copy of that, are reviewing that. Also wanted to provide an update in regards to our foundation. We have our foundation, they're meeting actively to begin fundraising for the college, and they're planning some events for the fall. So if you get a chance to look at that update, that PowerPoint, that'd be very helpful. If you have any feedback as well. Item 2010, regards to the transition, I know some of our staff are probably excited that this month was our last transition meeting. We meet every first Tuesday of each month. And this month was our last meeting, and we provide the update in the document. As I mentioned earlier with Trustee Dopplemore regards to dual enrollment, we have a dual enrollment report for you, which gives you more information as it relates to dual enrollment. We also want to make sure that we outline for the board just some of our financials, our budget to actuals, and also our COVID-related expenditures. That information is there. Also information regards to our audit findings for June 30th, 2021. And then finally, just to close out at the end of our information section, it includes a HR item regards to administrative transfer. One of the things we've been doing for the last couple of years is when employees are transferred to another department or to a different supervisor, we share that with the board as an information item. And then we also have an update on the task force work. I think this is important. We have several task force that are doing work that have been meeting, and the Tar Mascot task force is one of the task force that's been doing a lot of work in regards to the recommendation that was before the board. And finally, item 2030 regards to the name of the library. This afternoon, I had a meeting with the Consultative Council. We talked about the process as it relates to the consideration for Emily Hart Hollifield regards to naming of the library. And so I met with the groups and the Consultative Council, and they proposed a process that's consistent with the board policy and administrative regulations regards to name of the building. And this week I have a Zoom meeting with Ms. Malika Black to talk about that process and the next steps. And I'll also share the information with the Board of Trustees as relates to that. One of these that was brought forward from the constituent groups was to make sure all the different constituent groups are able to participate in this process. And so we had a really lively discussion this afternoon as it relates to that. And that concludes the information items for the board agenda.
Board members, do you have any discussion on any of the items from 20.01 through 20.03? 20.03. See no discussion. Moving on to item number 21, future agenda items. Dr. Curry.
One thing that I would like to implement next month is something I saw in some other community colleges, where we will start documenting the items that were brought forth as future agenda items. And then you'll see that as a part of the agenda in the information section, and what was brought forward, and then when was it discussed as a follow-up. And so we'll start that in July, then be part of the information section. Next month, we have our facilities projects update. We have an update on the health center. We're also going to be doing an update response to the update as it relates to the call to action response, and then also Citizens Bond Oversight Committee annual report, update on distance education, and then also public hearing as it relates to the 2022-2023 Compton Community College District budget. And that concludes the updated items.
Moving on to item number 22 for oral reports, Dr. Cook.
I'm excited to have a couple items to discuss. Mr. Lionel Wiggins took some of my thunder or some things he wanted to announce. But I do want to say thank you to the faculty and staff and managers who worked on the music apprenticeship program grant for Compton Unified School District with the funding we provided at Compton College. That's significant. Over the last year, we've been working through institutional effectiveness, being responsible for grants, opportunities, really organizing how we go after grants for the college. And this apprenticeship program aligns really well with our commercial music program. And so Javier Estrada was a part of the work as we start proposal. We're really excited about this. It provides several opportunities for us to engage local high school students in our music program. I also wanted to say thank you to, I know Linda Owens is probably online or she's somewhere, but I want to say thank you to Linda Owens and certain people on campus regards to the student housing. When we first started talking about student housing here at Compton College, it was not a dream. It was a part of a conversation. And now to see that it was realized for us regards to $80 million, I think that is very significant, but also it shows the state's commitment to Compton College. That's a big commitment, $80 million for student housing for 250 beds. So as we talk about Compton College and the continued work we're doing, the state is invested in this organization and is invested in what we're doing for our students. And it's something that we should be proud of because we know that our students have a need, but we as a college were able to allocate to do something to really address housing, food insecurity, housing and homelessness for our students. I also want to say thank you to the faculty and staff who participated in our commencement ceremony. I thought it was a great ceremony. I was really excited about having Dr. Robert Ross, who's with the California Endowment, be a part of the commencement ceremony, and also the student speakers and the Board of Trustees. I thought it was a great event held at Dignity Health Park, and our goal is to host the commencement ceremony for 2023 at the same location. So I want to say thank you to everyone that was involved in the planning for that event. I thought it was really good. I thought we had a good time, and I think the students felt appreciated at the commencement ceremony. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that was involved with the planning of commencement, and it was really nice. It was really nice, and thank you to the faculty as well. It was just a nice event. It was a nice celebration of our students during that time. And finally, I want to say, last Friday I had the pleasure. I was in Chicago speaking at the Spencer Foundation, which was interesting. It was interesting to have a conversation with K-12 districts and also community college. I was one of 3 California community college representatives there, just talking about the work that we're doing at Compton College and the work that we're doing with our local schools, but just our transformation over the years. You know, when you look at what has happened here since 2004, 2005 to where we're at now, this is a true success story. And regardless of issues we might have as it relates to student success or things that we're dealing with, the success that we have had cannot be overshadowed, or someone can say we have not had successes. And so when I was in Chicago talking about Compton College, not only did those foundations and researchers from across the country know who we were, they also know about our accomplishments. And so as I reflect on this past fiscal year, this is a great story about a rebirth of Compton College and the work that we have done. We still have a long way to go as relates to this rebirth, but you cannot say things are not happening here for students and student success. Yes, we have enrollment decline. Other community colleges are dealing with enrollment decline, but we have been very strategic as it relates to where we're headed as an organization. And so I hope everyone is proud of that, but also proud of where we're headed in regards to our funding in the governor's budget that was in part of the joint legislative budget agreement. It includes a new funding floor, which we've been advocating for the last 2 years, which protects our FTS for at 5980 in perpetuity. Let me say this again. Our enrollment is protected at 5980 in perpetuity moving forward. So think about that for a second. That wasn't done overnight. That was done by the work that we've been doing in Sacramento, work with our elected officials, but also we understand the challenges as relates to enrollment. So that's a big thing that's in the budget. Also in the budget that's big is the housing. And also we have increased money that's coming as relates to COVID-19. So the future here is bright, but on a national stage, it's even brighter. And so we have to continue to work and continue to stay focused as it relates to student success. And the board's questions and conversations tonight regards to AB 705 is a good conversation to have because we're trying to figure it out. I met with the division chair who oversees the English department, and we're just talking through some of the challenges we've been having regards to AB 705, but also regards to some of the successes. But it was a conversation, and we're trying to figure out what else can we do to support the faculty of teaching transfer level English and math, but also to how we support our students. And so it's something that we're trying to work through, but every college is working through these challenges. But I'm really excited about the work that we're doing as it relates to AB 705 at our campus and as we move forward. And that concludes my report.
Moving on to Board of Trustees, Trustee Ramos.
I'll just make it brief. I just want to thank all the staff that played a role in making the graduation happen, and just the presentations. And some were kind of long, but there was so much great and detail in it. So the presentations were great today, and also it's exciting news that that the college received the, what is it called? I don't know if it's a grant from the bill for the student housing. That's exciting, 80 million. So I know we've been talking about it for years, but finally, like, to get some money for it, I think it's an exciting time for us. Thank you.
Dr. Little.
I too want to just thank all of our administrators, our faculty, our staff, and especially our students. I concur that so many great things are happening here, and even through challenge, I think that speaks to leadership and then the overall community, because this is not done by one group, that the college continues to persevere and be resilient. And because, as our student trustee said earlier at the beginning, that we are very much student, faculty, and staff centered. We know what our collective why is, why we are here in terms of education and empowerment and community engagement and legacy transformational change for all of the communities that are represented who attend Compton College. And again, kudos to us regarding the housing. Not only is it transformative being the first school in LA County and to being one of 12, but most importantly, what difference it'll make for our students who, both from housing insecurity, but also just to have an educational experience where they will be able to partake in the fullness of this environment, is again really great. And as Dr. Curry just said, in terms of the protection of our FTEs, we know that we will get to 3 times that amount, and it will take some time, but we will, with all of the improvements, but more importantly, the programs and the commitment. But to not have to worry about that as we build is huge. So just want to thank everyone for these strategic investments. Thank you again for the workforce conversations. And I just look forward to seeing what's next.
Trustee Dopplemore.
Yes, again, I would like to thank the students of the graduating class of 2020, 2021, and 2022. It was an honor and a pleasure to join you and participate in that ceremony that we just had. And I would like to wish you all the best and much success on pursuing the continuation of your education. I would say to the new students that are enrolled in the program this summer, and also the students that are looking to join us here this fall, the choice that you've made is the right choice. Your path for success is being achieved here. the staff, the faculty, the president and the board of trustees, and everyone else that is involved in this community. Your path of success is being laid out in front of you. If you can hear tonight, the barriers are being removed because we are all working together to ensure your success. So I would say, again, you've made the right choice. We're looking forward to having you all here, the students that are here this summer, as well as the students that are looking to attend us this fall. So again, congratulations and welcome. Thank you.
Trustee Calhoun.
Yes, good evening. Congratulations once again to our student trustee. I'll be looking forward to working with you. As we all know, Eloy Ortiz Oakley has stepped down. He's moving on. As of yet, we don't know who's going to be the chancellor, or maybe Daisy Gonzalez will be the interim. Maybe they'll be interviewing, don't know. But we wish him well in his endeavors. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of an organization called the Trevor Project, TREVOR Project. And if you haven't, it's a LGBTQ young people's organization. And they provide information and support to all LGBTQ students all year round to get help, explore topics, volunteer with them, and you can also meet other friends. If anybody is interested in the Trevor Project, you can call 1-866-488-7386 and find out how to get involved. Even maybe our college might want to look it up and maybe post that and let our LGBTQ young people know about the Trevor Project and post that number for them. And they can call, and anything they want is right there at their fingertips. Trying to look at my notes. Dr. Curry has tried to explain this over and over to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna still throw it out there. The selection committee, I'm really trying to understand. It's really not my job to understand because that's not my details. All right, I'm board of trustee. I have faith in the selection committee, and I always just wonder with the process of the selection committee, if they will ever, like, when they interview people, maybe have 3 or 4 people that's on the list. So if anybody doesn't accept the position, they can go to the next person. I don't know who does that. I don't know how they do it. I think it's fascinating, the job that they do. And I would really like to know more about it. And Dr. Curry can inform me more about it, instead of just having one candidate for a position and then that candidate refuses, then you have to put it back out again and start all over from day one. Well, I'd like to let everybody know that I am a bona fide college student. Woo woo! I have enrolled for the fall and the summer. I'm sorry that I could not enroll at Compton College. You don't offer the courses. Since 2018, I've been trying to talk about these courses, and they are labor study courses. So I've already had my classes. I already paid. I'm just waiting for them to start so I can go ahead on and get my AA degree. And I hope that in the future that we as a college can look into having labor study courses at our college. You'd be surprised how many young men and women want to be part of the trades. And the trades will teach them. Well, they have teachers that teach them and stuff like that. And they get hired on the spot as apprentice and as journeymen and women. And they get hired through a lot of the unions that are looking for men and women, whether it's carpentry, drywall, electrical, plumbing, pipe fitting, whatever it is, they're still looking. So hopefully one day we can look into that about the labor study courses, even if it's just for a certificate, you know. And so my class is online and the other one I have to do in person, and that's fine with me. But I really would have loved to give Compton College my money. And I know it takes a while to do these courses, but I just hope somebody does, because, you know, they just canceled the labor study courses for people to go out by Knott's Berry Farm. There was going to be some classes there. And so now they have to go all the way to Trade Tech or take the classes online. But just think if Compton College was offering those courses, the men and women that want those labor study, which are union people. And these are some fantastic courses that they have, from grievance handling to arbitration to workforce, when you have a hard time on your job. And these classes are very good. So maybe one day, Dr. Curry, we can see how we can get those classes come into Compton College. Once again, you'd be surprised about how many union members and non-union members that want to get into labor and start working for different unions and union jobs and being part of the union. And with that, that is all that I have to say. And thank you so very much. I'm going to get the hang of this. I finally realized what I was doing wrong. I had to pull down my tab. I had to pull it down and then do it, and then I could see the voting. So that's why you saw me voting the last couple of times on the voting thing. So I saw what I was doing wrong. So thank you for that. Everybody have a good, oh, wait a minute. The graduation. Oh my God, the graduation was fantastic. Those students were really glad to be there. Faculty, staff, volunteers, what a fantastic job you ladies and gentlemen you're doing, and all the efforts and the work that you put forth in teaching our students through all these hard times. Thank you so much. But that graduation at that location we was at in Carson was a very good location to have. Was a very good location. Maybe we could have it again there. And it was very good, but maybe we can work on, because I know a lot of people couldn't see their children, their students, cousins, wives, whatever. Maybe we can work on next time having two of those trons, those screens. And that way when the names are being called, the family can really see them going up, getting their diploma a lot better because they could see it on the screen. That might be something to look into. So once again, thank you for all the hard work and dedication that you ladies and gentlemen give to Compton College. Thank you so much. May not seem like you're not appreciated, but trust me, I appreciate each and every one of you and all the work that you do. Thank you so much.
I do want to echo some of the same sentiments our colleagues shared today regarding the graduation. It was a beautiful ceremony. And again, congratulations to the class of 2020, 2021, and 2022. Congratulations to our student trustee, as he is now the ASG president. So we look forward to hearing updates on a monthly basis from him. Moving on to the next item, 2203 special trustee. Jean, do you have anything to share with us?
Well, I just think that I should mention that last time I said that this would be my last meeting, it seems as though that the chancellor's office would like me to stay on a little longer while they go through the process of hiring a replacement or identifying a replacement. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your update. Moving on to 23, next regularly scheduled board meeting is July 18th, 2022. Closed session begins at 5 and open session begins at 6. It is 9:02 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Trustee Ramos? Board Chair, did you end it? Trustee Ramos? I'm sorry.